Hello everybody, it is Haiti and it is nice to see you again. How you guys been? Cause I just had like the best weekend of my life. Not gonna lie. Today I'm here to talk to you about my Kcon experience. Now I know I said I was gonna vlog, but I couldn't bring my camera in. Well, I didn't bring my camera because I know that you couldn't bring it into the Staples. So I was getting dropped off. I wasn't like parking anywhere because you know I can't drive. But I'm only 17. I didn't take it because I was like, you know what, it's just gonna get in the way. Oh yeah, my voice is a little rusty, please excuse me. Yeah, Kcon 2016 LA. Whoa, like, whoa. I don't even know where to start, honestly. Like, I guess I'll start with Friday. It was the morning of Kcon. I was ready to go. Oh, but actually I had like a horrible weekend before Sunday came along. Well, actually no. It was really bad, but then it turned really good, and I'll tell you why here. Like, my mind was blown. It started off with Friday, right? I think I got to the convention probably around like, I don't know, maybe like 12 or... No, I think I got there like 1-ish. Yeah, I think it was like 1. And we went inside like the big entrance in the South Hall. And so we were going in, and I didn't have my wristband. I had to go get the wristband. So I had my little ticket, right? And so I go up and I was like, oh, like where do I get this registered? And look, last year there was nobody in line, and I just came in and came out because I came later in the day, and I was just, you know, in, out, got my wristband, done, you know what I mean? But then this time they told me to go this way, and I was like, okay, well, I was only planning on going to the convention, and I was gonna try to look for concert tickets online because I couldn't find, like, I really couldn't find any, like, I couldn't, like, they sold out on me, basically. And so I went to where they said to check in, and I was like, okay, I'm only a convention goer, so I guess I go into the general lines. And so I see the lines, I was like, oh, they're not that long. And then I go and like, I thought I was gonna go, you know, get in the line. I was like, which one looks the shortest? And I just like, you know, I was about to go there, and then some dude steps in front of me, or some lady, I don't remember. Like, they step in front of me and they're like,
the line's over there.
And I was like,
outside.
because I remember passing by that line when we got there. Like, I was like, what is that line for? I thought people were like lining up for something else, but apparently freaking not, because they told me to go like outside, and I was like, oh, so where do I go if I'm only convention? And then they were like, oh, she was like, oh, you gotta go to that. Like, they were so rude. They were like, this, I understand she was upset, and she's probably like dealing with a lot of like, you know, really like rude, ugly people, but she was like,
oh, you gotta go to the back of the line.
She just like kind of pointed to that line over there, and I was like, but I'm only going for convention, like I don't have concert tickets. She's like,
back of the line.
And then I was just standing there with my friends figuring out, I was like, so just one line? Because there was like a big line and made a circle, and then it was like 3 lines, and I was like, so where like, do I go over there, or what's happening? And so I go to the back of the line, I guess, and then my friends go inside because they already had their wristbands. And so I was just there, and my friend had told me that it was only a 2-hour wait when she came, and I was like, 2 hours is a long time, but you know, it's not. I'm making it inside in time. So I was like, whatever, I'll wait, and I just need to get the wristband and get out. And so I go into the line. It's super hot inside, like hot outside. You know, I was expecting that AC on the inside, like convention center, hello. No, I was outside and I was melting, and my eyeliner was just, you know, right under my eyeballs, and it was just falling and everything. Y'all, you know.
This was so annoying. I was so upset.
And I was just in the line. I was like, I'm gonna just let these 2 hours pass by. I didn't have any headphones because I was a genius not to bring them when I really should have. I could have catched up on some shows. Ooh, my voice. I could have catched up on some shows. I could have listened to some music. I could have got hype, but no, you know, I was just there, you know, casually looking for tickets, like scroll, right? Whatever. And I'm in this line, and you know, I'm just there. I'm alone at this moment, and I have like pants on because I really thought I was gonna be inside. I was just there in line for like a good, I don't know. Ooh, well, let me just continue with the story. I was just waiting in line. It was hot. Everybody was with their friends. I was all alone, and I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm fine. And the hours just passed by. It's like, I don't know, 3 hours already, and I was like, I thought this was 2 hours. Like, I was like, I've been here for over 2 hours. It's like 3 hours already. You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't know, like 3 o'clock already. And I was like, okay, it's I mean, like, are we gonna go inside? Or are we just gonna stay here? And the worst thing about it is that the staff was really, really unorganized. Like, I don't think it was Kcon staff. I think it was the people who were like working the convention center. It was really unorganized. Like, they didn't even know like what the lines were for, because they kept calling random people, and so random people in the line would just run up, and people in the back couldn't hear. So the people who had waited longer in line were actually, you know, they could have had a chance to go just run inside, because they were calling like, oh, we need blah 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 P3, and a bunch of people like would run in, you know what I mean? And this guy like came up to our line, like one of the people who was working there, and he was like, oh, isn't this the line for P3? And then we were like, no, we're all mixed up. We're all like, we all have different stuff. Some of us were only convention. Some people were P2, P1, P3, P4, P5. And he's like, okay, let me go ask. Ask who? Don't you work here? What? Who are you gonna ask? We're basically on a pretty like jacked up, mixed up line, and it's like as soon as you make the corner, it's like separates into 3 lines, but nobody knows what the lines are for. So I just kept walking straight in front of me, following the people who were in front of me. Eventually, after like the 4-hour mark, people started getting a little crazy. People started like, you know, switching lines and stuff. Like, they were like, you know, people just like, some people got out of line, some people left because it was like already like 4 o'clock, you know, and then they were like so bummed and stuff. And I think it was around like the 5-hour mark. I think that's when like people, you know, that's when everybody came up. And that's actually, I was just in line and I was like, you know what, I just need to hold on, because I was ready to quit. I was hitting my breaking point. I was ready to like kill somebody. You know, I was like, oh my god. But I held myself together, and I'm very proud of myself for that, because 5 hours is a long time, okay? So I'm just, you know, it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, okay, what, you know, the convention ends in like half an hour or an hour, you know, like, okay, whatever. I was like, I'm fine, just need to get my wristband, so then tomorrow I don't have to deal with this like again. Like, I was like, I'm just staying in this line and I'm gonna be cool and I'm gonna relax. And I see this like security guard coming up like near me, and I was like, oh snap, because I saw them coming back and forth and kept talking, and I was like, oh shoot, like what are they? I thought they were gonna cut off the line, and what do you know, they freaking did. Literally, I swear to you, directly behind me, the security guard goes like, this is where the line ends, and then he tells the people who are waiting behind that like they have to go home and come back tomorrow. People were mad, of course, you know, people were starting to complain, you know, he was like, you know, you can go complain if you want, like, there's nothing we can do about it, blah, blah, blah. And what sucks is that people who had waited, like, you know, the same amount of time that I didn't even get in. And people who only waited like an hour got in so quick. You know, like, I was kind of like, okay, like, that's completely unfair, like, to be honest, because I saw people who came like hours after I did, and they went inside before me, and I was like, alright, whatever. So I just, you know, just kept going. And so I felt really sorry for the people who were behind me, because some people were waiting for like 4 hours, and that's like, that is a long time. You know, I basically wasted the whole day in line, but it's okay because it was Friday, you know. At least I didn't come on Saturday and do that. I eventually got through the line, and I was like, you know, probably like one of the last people, and I thought my problems would end once I go inside, and you know, I go inside those magical doors to get to the check-in thing. But I opened the doors and there's another line. I was like, I'm okay, I'm fine. I was like, I'm inside. That's all that matters. And that line didn't take as long as the other one. Probably took like maybe half an hour or something, or an hour, I don't know. So I probably waited like a good 5 hours in total. And so I just like, I got my wristband, I went inside and I met with my friends, and the convention was literally about to end in like half an hour, and I was like, oh my god, this is so sad, this freaking sucks. That was my Friday, basically. You know, nothing really interesting happened in the convention, you know. And and then comes Saturday, okay? Saturday was like, I don't know. So I woke up, my legs hurt, my whole body hurt. I was like, you know, because that day I didn't eat anything. I had like 4 chicken nuggets for breakfast. And that was it. And then, oh my god, I literally did not like eat anything in that line. Like, it was horrible. I felt so sick when I got home. And like, something happened on Friday that was really like, it's a personal issue that I don't really want to talk about, but something happened that day to the point where I kind of like had a breakdown, and it wasn't good, and it kind of like really brought my mood down. You know, I had like I don't want to like pity myself or anything, but I didn't have a good day. You know, my mom told me, she was just like, you know, keep going, like, all you gotta focus on the positive. And I was like, yeah, Yes, I do. And so I just, you know, I kept going. But that's another story that I don't know if I'll ever tell. Maybe I'll tell it. Who knows? Like, I need water. Hold on. Anyways, so it's Saturday, right? Saturday, the first concert day. And I managed to find some tickets that morning. I managed to find some tickets, and shout out to, you know, her, I forgot her name. It's on Facebook, but I actually found her by coincidence, which is funny. Yeah, thank you to her. She gave me some P2 tickets. Well, she didn't give them to me, you know, I bought them off of her, but she was, I'm grateful that she was selling them for a reasonable price. I think her name was Serena. I don't know, but she's really pretty. Like, if you ever see this, you know, you girl, I love you. You're the bomb, girl. And so when I got there, I got my ticket, blah, 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 put it in my purse for later. And so that, I just enjoyed the convention, basically, you know what I mean? And so I was with my other friends, and we were just walking around, because they pretty much, like, did the convention. I think they did the convention yesterday. I think they did. I don't know. But on Friday, which I mean. But I was just hanging around with them, and we mostly spent most of our time at the stage. You know, that little stage that they have out there, and I was watching the K-Pop World Festival, the finals, the US finals, and there were so many talented groups. Like, you guys, like, you really outdid yourselves, and congratulations to the winner. Like, I hope you represent us well, because I know I would have loved to have gone to Korea. Like, I kind of, like, regret not entering, but, you know, there's always next year, and then there's always opportunities to, you know, come on out and have a good time. We spent most of our time there, and I think we played a few games. I don't remember. Like, my mind's very, like, blurry right now on the whole situation, but we basically spent most of our time there, and then we went around to a few of the booths, and then when my other friends came, I just met up with them too, and, like, we all joined, because we're mutuals, you know, so it was like 4 of us, or 5 of us, I think, in total. And we were all hanging around and stuff, you know, walking around, seeing what there is to do and everything, and, you know, meeting some people. Yeah, like, a few of the subscribers from the WOOO channel recognized me, and, like, Kcon and Monty, and that was pretty cool. And that was really cool. Like, thank you for saying hello. And what else? What else had happened? I don't know. Did I go to any fan engagements? I don't think, no, I didn't go to any fan engagements. I'm trying to see what we did that day. Oh yeah, we spent some time at the dance workshop thingy. Yeah, watching some people dance. I mean, I didn't go in because personally, you know, I don't really know a lot of dances, to be honest. And a lot of the songs they played, I was like, you know, I don't know. You know, like, there's a lot of talented people out there. Like, shout out to y'all. You guys have a lot of confidence for getting up there and dancing. And then the hours started counting down. It started going down. It was like 5 o'clock already, and no. Yeah, I think it was 5 o'clock that, you know, I started, like, sitting down, charging my phone, and I was like getting ready for the day, well, for the night. It soon became 6 o'clock, and so we started to walk outside, and they didn't have tickets for Saturday, so I departed from them at like 6:30-ish. You know what I mean? Because I know the concert doesn't always start exactly at 7. There's always the opening acts and the commercials and the MC and everything. It probably starts at like 7:45 or 8, to be honest. But oh, I just love this so much. The people that were performing on Saturday were my favorite, obviously. The people that I was most looking forward to, who I yelled at, most looking forward to was Block B, because I love Block B so much. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, okay. Ooh, okay. I really do like Block B. And I think Turbo went, and Shiny's back. Yes. And G-Friend on Saturday? Yeah, G-Friend. And I'm looking at the book right now because I can't remember. Amber, yes, Amber. Who else? Dean. Oh my lord. Y'all, I don't think the TV does him justice, or like the computer screen, because he's so much. Oh my god, he's a handsome man, let me tell you something. And he did a collab with Zico, and I didn't think Zico was gonna do he did they did Pour Up, and I didn't think Zico was gonna do Boys and Girls, but he ended up, because you know Babylon wasn't there, but he ended up doing it with Kcon, and I was like, yes, because that is such a good song. It's such like a really good song. You know, I got up immediately out of my seat. Like, I jumped out of my seat when I heard the song. I was like, and I was like, don't worry about me. You know, I was going hard. So, oh, here it is. This is everybody who, okay, I don't know if you can see that. This is like pretty much everybody who went on Saturday. It's all blurry, but you get the point. It was Dean, Block B, Amber, G-Friend, IOI, and Shiny. IOI, I'm so proud of you. Like, you guys, you've trained so hard, and like, you know, everybody's trained here. You know, everybody who came trained very hard. But I was really, really proud of them because it's their debut year and their only year as a group, which is like pretty, you know, it's pretty cool. Like, you know, they worked really hard and they survived an elimination show. Like, I'm really proud of all of them, and they're amazing live. Like, amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know, the concert was amazing. Like, I didn't have any interaction with any of the artists, but it was really a good show. Like, Saturday night was amazing, to be honest. And of course, you will not believe who I freaking saw. Lee Min-ho. Oh my god. I didn't know he was gonna be there. And then I totally forgot. I thought he was just gonna do like a fan engagement or something, but then he ended up freaking going to like the concert and like emceeing the beginning, and I was like Kim Soo-hyun did last year. And they
both came out for like 2 seconds and they never came out ever again.
Like, who makes the rules here? Like, why would they come to LA for 2 seconds? I'm upset. Lee Min-ho came out, and I was just really happy to see Lee Min-ho because he was like one of the first people that I saw like before I got into like K-pop, you know, because I started out with K-drama, which was, you know, Boys Over Flowers, as many do. Ooh, woo. And Lee Min-ho is such an amazing person. Like, he's so beautiful, and I was just so happy to see somebody that got like, I wouldn't say got me into K-pop, but like introduced me into the Hallyu world. It was really cool seeing him. Like, I thought it was so cool. I had P2 seated, and they were amazing seats, like really, really good seats. I love how the setup was. Now I was disappointed that they didn't have the circular stage because I really like how that was set up, but the stage that they did this year was really good too. It made it possible for a lot of fans to see them up close and from far away, and etc, etc. That was pretty much Saturday. You know, I screamed my heart out for all the artists, and they're just all like, the moves and everything is so sharp on like in person. Like, the TV just doesn't capture the effort that they put in, to be honest. You know, I had a good time, and I rambled and rambled with my friends after the concert on how amazing it was and how grateful we were. I am truly grateful that I was able to find a ticket for Saturday. Like, bless up. Now, at this time, it's Saturday night. I don't have a ticket, you know, for the next night. I'm really looking for one, you know what I mean? Because I really wanted to go so bad, so bad. It's like it's a tradition for me to go every year to the concerts, except I just didn't go in 2012, but since 2013 on, I've been going because Kcon is such an amazing event. And I guess you could say we've grown together. We actually have. We really, really have, to be honest. Like, Kcon, you probably will not see this, but we've grown together. Sunday morning comes. Sunday morning, rain is falling. I was like, crap, it's gonna be really hard to find a ticket. I spent basically my whole day looking for a ticket, you know, because I was with my friends, my 2 friends, Elena and Maya. Like, basically this whole day I was looking for tickets, you know, all the way, like literally the whole day, like from morning to night, I was looking for tickets. And, but we went to the convention, you know, we enjoy ourselves, and we were there and we were just hanging around, you know, and we saw a bunch of like security started like gathering around. And so we were like, what's happening here? And it was next to the Toyota booth, and so we were like, okay, we'll just stand here, because they set up those little thingies, you know, where they put like the not barricade, but that like thing that blocks people from like moving forward. It's like, you know, like the red ropes, it's like that, but it's like a black seatbelt. It had little poles, and I was like standing right there. I was like, I'm about to be front row for whoever is coming out. And so they started like setting up the little line things, and that security guard was so upset at life. Like, I'm sorry dude if you had a bad day, but he was just so mean to everybody, and I was like, alright man, like you gotta chill, like we didn't do anything to you, you don't do anything to us, you know what I mean? But I was like, whatever, he had a bad day, you can't really blame him. You know, the photographer started coming, I was like, okay, so it's real. And then we start asking around, we're like, do you know who's coming? Like, does anybody know who's coming? And they're like, Astro. And I was like, Astro? Like, the Astro. And Astro made a surprise guest appearance on Saturday, which is really, really cool, because, you know, they were supposed to perform on Sunday, and they came on Saturday, and I was like, whoa, that's like a 2-in-1. But we're there, we're waiting. We're like, okay, Astro, my friend Maya, she's like a huge Astro fan, and so I'm like, girl, you gotta be in front of me, you have to be like right here, you have to like see them, like I want you to see them. Like I really wanted her to see her group. And so we're waiting there for like a good like maybe 20 minutes, and then like we finally see that doors open, and that like there's always like the coordinators and the managers come out first. And like so they start coming out, and then you see Astro, and I think I can put a clip here, but wow. Though they are glowing, and oh my god, Moonbin's eyes are so big, so like they're just nope, like they're huge. And I was so close to them that I could see their foundation. Like I could see the powder on them, and I could see their freaking eyeshadow and their eyeliner and everything. Like they were glowing. They were like little, like they were just glowing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I need them to do my makeup personally, because they just look flawless, like angels, like little angels, and they're so cute. They're so freaking cute in person. Like and I was like, oh my god, like the video that I showed you does not do them justice, because like you just can't tell, and I was so close, so freaking close, like I couldn't even believe it. But wow, they are so good morning. They did their little thingy. Usually the guest appearance don't last for real. Wow, it's really hot in here. The guest appearances don't the guest appearances at Toyota booth really last like, I don't know, like 25 minutes maybe, you know, because they have to get to their other schedules. And so they were there, they said hello, they answered a few questions, took pictures with fans that like won a raffle, and I think that's pretty much all they did. We were just waiting, and then so they finally come out, and I took another video, and I was like, oh, like bye, like dude, like I was like, you know, I wasn't like screaming and yelling in their face, but I was like bye, like, oh, you know, like trying to like wave at all of them and stuff. And and throughout this whole day, we had a good time, I'd say. You know, I was still looking for tickets this whole time. Like, we played a few games, it was really cool, and so we got hungry and wanted to go for lunch. It was like, I don't know, like maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock, and so they're like, oh, let's go to the street market, and I hadn't gone, and I was like, yeah, like I really want to go, and we went there, and it was so lit outside, like, it was more lit than inside of Kcon. And so we got food. I got corn. You know, like, I don't know how, I guess it's called corn in a cup, but I usually, you know, the esquite, you know what I'm talking about? You know, you Latinos out there, you know what I'm talking about? I got that, because there was no line, and I was like, what, y'all are missing out. And I was eating it, you know, having a good time. It was like 1:30 maybe, you know, I bought a water, and then I was still looking for tickets, As hopeless as I was, still looking. I wanted to go to the Monster X fan engagement. Now I wanted to get at least I know I couldn't get a high touch, but I wanted to get an audience thing. And so, oh my god, I went to this voucher trade group that they have on Facebook, and I posted like, oh, looking for Monster X audience passes, because I wanted to get some for my friends too, because they're even bigger fans than I am. And they I managed to find them some, but unfortunately they didn't come in time to receive them, which really sucked, because they went to the airport to go see Monster X and BTS. I fortunately was able to find a third one that this girl, she gifted to me, which was really nice of her. And I actually don't think she wanted it, because when I went up to her to get it, she was like, you the Monster X person? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay. And she had a little wallet thingy, and she was going like this, and she saw me like looking at her, and then she like turned around, she was like if I was gonna steal her credit card number, and I was like, okay. So she takes it down, she gives it to me, and I was like, thank you so much. And she was like, yeah. She was so sus, so freaking sus, bro. She was like, and I was like, okay, bye. And I really wanted to thank her and everything, because that's a really like nice thing, you know. Like, I'm really grateful for the people out there who are nice enough to give something like that to fans, because I know that there's so many people who didn't get to do certain things because people use ridiculous prices because they're selfish. And that actually reminds me of what happened at the Astro thing. Like, I thought this girl who's behind me was a bigger fan than me. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, she must be like a huge Astro. I thought she stanned the group, for crying out loud. And so I was like, oh, here, you can go in front of me. Like, I'll stand over here, you can stand in front of me. And I was like, and then she was like, oh my god, like, thank you. And I thought she knew ooh, her friend is like behind me still, and her friend is like pushing me, and I was trying to, honestly, I became security because I was trying to hold people back because I was about to fall over and the whole thing was about to topple over. People got crazy and I was like, whoa, like this was worse than when they entered. People got crazy and they were trying to push, and I was like holding my ground. I was like, y'all, trying to hold myself together. And I remember we went to go play a game, right, like after they left and everything. And then the girls who I let in front of me, like they came up to us and they were like, do you know who that group was? I know they were Asteroid or something. And I was like, are you joking? Asteroid? What? They literally were like, I don't know any of them. Could you tell me some of their names? Do you know who this is? And they showed us a part of their video, like they paused it on the part of the video that they wanted us to tell them. And I was like, I hate people like that, man. There could have been hella fans back there that I could have let in front of me. Like, I'm out for work. I was like, boy, if you don't like, I was upset. We were like, we should have just told them that the member was like Taman or something. And they probably would have gone around saying, oh, I saw Taman, but you know, they would have looked like idiots, but whatever, who cares? So it's after lunch and we're looking for tickets. We're sitting down. I couldn't find tickets, and I had met my other friends up after a while in the convention and stuff, and I met them up and we went to the market again, and it was approaching closer to the end hour, to the hour of, you know, the fateful hour, you know, because left and right, every time I found somebody who was selling tickets, they ended up selling it to somebody else because they gave them a higher price or whatever. They gave them a higher offer. And I was like, in a total, I would say that I got screwed over like a good 3 times that day. It's like, I don't know, like 5 something. It's like 6 now. No, yeah, it was 6. It was 6. I remember. And this was yesterday. We were walking around the market, right? Because it was like right next to Staples Center. My friends had gotten tickets for that night, but I was the only one without a ticket, and I was trying to look for some at that very moment, like not minutes, I would say like an hour before the concert. And it was 6 o'clock, and I was like freaking out, and I thought this girl, like, she was selling some, and I was like, well, if you can't find anybody who can give you that price, because she was selling them for $600. $600? And she was basically selling them for $600. I was like, well, you know, if you don't end up finding anybody by the time the concert starts, you know, like 7, I'm here if you want to lower the price to something lower. Maybe we can negotiate something. But I remember it was like it turned $6.50, and I let my friends go. I was like, you guys should get in line, like, you know, have a good time, like, I really go, like, enjoy yourselves. And they were like, you know, I wish you find a ticket. And I was like, I really hope I do. And so I went to the front of Staples Center, and I messaged the girl back, and I was like, oh, like, any updates on the tickets? And she at that very moment, she tweeted, she was like, the tickets are sold. And I was like, okay, I'm okay. And then I was just waiting in front of Staples Center, and I was like, what do I do? And I see this group of, like, staff, you know, and I was like, they had some tickets in their hands, and I was like wondering, I was like, do you think they're selling them or something? I thought they were selling them, and I didn't know. And I'm the kind of person who's really scared to ask people questions because I'm a very shy person. I see people come up to them, and I don't know if like they met the person up or something. I thought they were waiting for their friends, you know, so they can all go in the concert together. But I hear the guy, he's selling P2, and he's selling it at the same price that I got from yesterday. And I was like, whoa. And so like after the girl rejected him, I was like, oh, like you're selling for blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah. And he I don't know his name. I don't know. I'm not gonna describe him because I don't want to like throw him under the bus or anything. But actually he should be, because he's rude. And so him and his friends were like there, and they all had a bunch of tickets, and they had the P2 ticket. And I was like, I can take it, but do you have like PayPal, or can we do like you know, quick pay on Chase? And everything that I asked them, they were like, no. They wanted cash or Venmo. And I was like, well, I don't have the cash on me right now, and I don't have anybody who can bring me the cash. And I told him, I was like, I will buy them from you, but you just need to wait for me to make this Venmo account since you only have Venmo. And so he was like, all right. And like he kept bothering me. He kept like every like 2 seconds he was like, well, I wouldn't say every 2 seconds. That's exaggerating. I would say that he kept like, you know, asking me if I was really gonna buy them. I was like, yes, I just need to make the account, because you know, my mom wasn't home, and she was the one who was gonna pay for them, and she was trying to figure something out, and she was like getting the account ready, And I see these other people come up to them, and he's like, you know, if like we can't get you with the account on time, then we're gonna have to sell it to whoever gives it to us first. And I was like, well, that's kind of rude, because I mean, I didn't say this to him because I was trying to keep my cool, but I was like, you know, like, that's rude, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the money right now, but you're in a rush and you don't want to wait. And he was like, I think he took it for a lower offer or something, because I saw him talking to the girl. He was like, oh, we already sold it. And he was like, yeah, sorry, I just have to go, I'm running late. And he like had his cigarette in hand, he was like ready to go, and I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, it's fine, like, you know, it's okay. And at that very moment, my mom was like, you know, like, she had the account set up as soon as he like sold it to the other person. She was ready to like transfer the money and everything. But then he was like, oh no, I already sold it, blah blah blah. And after they had sold it, they all like left to go like wherever they were gonna go, and they high-fived each other. Because I know they were Kcon staff. They were working the event, so they basically got the tickets for free but sold them to make a quick buck. And I hate people like that. To be honest, if I had something and I wasn't interested in the event, I would give it away, because I think that's totally ridiculous to make a quick buck off of like poor fan. Like that, I think that's really rude, you know. But there's nothing I can do about it. You know, he's gonna keep being the way that he is, and there's nothing that's gonna change him. Like, you know, karma will be karma. And so at that moment, I was like really upset. It was like probably 6:45, almost. I think it was actually 7 by that time, you know. And the line was so short, because usually the line wrapped around the Staples Center, but the line was super, super short. And oh my god, like the line had become like barely anything. Like the line was almost gone. Like almost everybody was inside. And they started closing some doors, and they only had like a few entrance doors open, and they started like closing off like the gates so nobody could come inside. They only had like one thing open and like a few doors open. And I told my mom what happened, and I was like, you know, I don't think I'm gonna find tickets, so I guess, you know, you're just gonna have to pick me up. And she was like, alright, I'll come get you. And y'all, the sun was going down, the doors were closing, they only had one door open. And it was like 7 something already. It was like 7:30 probably. And this like girl, I see this group of girls, and I thought they were gonna go inside. You know what I mean? And I thought they were going, and it turns out that they came up to me and they were like, oh, are you looking for tickets? And I was like, yeah, because I thought they were gonna try and sell it to me. And then I was like, yeah. And then they were like, oh, well, who are you most looking forward to seeing tonight? I was like, oh, I really wanted to see like Monsta X and BTS, etc., etc. And then they were like, well, like, it's your lucky day. And I was like, it's my what? My lucky day? She was like, I need somebody to dance with me and keep me company and sit next to me during this concert. And I was like, at that moment I cried. I cried so hard, because I was just like I was so happy that, you know, somebody came like that, because that's such a nice thing for somebody to do. But she said her name was Angie, and she worked the Soompi booth, and she was also a panelist, and she gifted me that ticket, and she was like, yeah, like, let's go together. And I hugged her so many times. I was like, thank you so much. And like, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, you won't believe what just happened. Oh my god, I got a free ticket. And my mom was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, well, keep me updated. She, you know, she's a typical Hispanic mom. She was like, and let me know if it's real or not, okay? Make sure. And I was like, okay, Mom. And I was with the girl, and we were like talking and stuff, and I was so happy. I was so happy, like I can't explain. We were going through security and everything, and we got through and scanned the ticket. And then after I scanned it, I texted my mom. I was like, it's real. And I was talking to Angie, and I was just like thank you so much. And we were talking, and you know, we were getting to know each other basically. And we go to our seats, right? And I hadn't checked the ticket because I was gonna check where it was seated. But then I was like, you know what, honestly, I don't care. I'm just so grateful that like I'm getting inside. You know, I don't even care where the seat is. Like, I'm going to see, like, I'm going to the concert. I was so happy, and I'm so grateful. And we go in, and I see our tickets, and we're kind of actually close. And then she tells me when we're on the way there, she's like, oh, like, I gotta warn you that we're gonna see like we're gonna probably be sitting around some YouTubers, you know, so if you recognize one of them. And I was like, oh, like, that's so cool. So I was like, oh, we must be sitting where they are. And I thought they were like, you know, because sometimes Kcon does like gives them really good seats or something, give, you know, not so good seats. But we walked in, and she was like, we're a little off of the stage. And so I thought we were gonna sit, where we sat was like basically backstage. Because like, if this is like backstage right here, and this is a stage, then we're like in the middle. We're like right here, backstage, stage, right here in the middle. And we were actually pretty close to the stage. Like we were probably like right above P1, I think, and then the YouTubers were behind us. But the kind of like seating area that we were in, it wasn't like like seats that were all like bunched together and like the normal seats for like P1 and P2 seated. It was like these fold up chairs, and I was looking around to see who, like it was only like maybe 8 or 10 chairs. And I was looking around to see who was sitting next to us, and I saw like 2 fans over there, you know. I think they were BTS fans, and then I guess their parents. I couldn't really tell. I didn't really look a lot at that side. And then Angie sat next to me. And then over here, basically the seats were empty. Like there was nobody sitting there, and we were free to like move up and down seats, change seats whenever we wanted. And I look at the lady. There's like one lady sitting next to me at the beginning of the concert, and we got there like as soon as it was about to start. Like the opening performances had just ended. The MC was like, you know, hyping the crowd up, and I look at the lady next to me, and then I look at her little, like she had a badge, and most people who were singing in the row had a badge, and I look, and she has an all access pass, and I was like, whoa, like why is she sitting here? And like basically where I was sitting was like a bunch of like the staff and stuff, and like the people who were with the artists were, and they were like, you know, they would come in and out, like they would go backstage and then they would come back, or like I'd see new people just coming back and forth sitting in those chairs. You know, it wasn't really like an assigned seated kind of thing. Like people just sat there and were like, okay. And so I could see everything backstage, so I could see like the artists before they came out. And so like I was sitting in the middle so I could see the stage, but then I went to the left, and that's like if I stood up and I went to the left, I could like wave at the artists when they were in the back, because we were waving at them and they were waving back at us, and we were like sending hearts and stuff, and they were looking at the signs and stuff, and they were like waving, and we could actually see them like before they got on stage, which was really cool, because they're like normal people. I mean, they are normal people, but you could really see the normal side of them, because when we were there we saw like Monsta X and Astro. They were like, you know, they were horse playing and stuff, and I thought it was really cute, and they were all like, you know, talking and stuff, and I thought it was really cool that we got to like see them backstage and then also see them when they got on the stage. Like they were amazing, amazing, amazing seats. Like I couldn't have wished for anything better. And the cool thing about it was when you wave at the artists when they come down, like usually it's hard to find like one person in a sea of people, but we were in the kind of seats that were like secluded to the point where you could see us like loud and clear. And so I waved at some of them, and they saw me, which is really, really awesome. Like I thought that was super cool. And so I guess you could say I got noticed, you know. And the concert went on, and it was such a great, amazing concert, and like I was dancing my heart out. And I keep like, there was these 2 like people next to me. I thought they only spoke Korean. I didn't think that they spoke English or anything, because they were like asking questions on who was on stage and stuff. They were staff, and you know, like the people who were working with the artists. And I was just there, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm usually like very shy, but I was like, I need to make the most of this day, because I'm just so lucky and blessed to be here. And so I was just like dancing, I was going hard, I didn't even care what anybody thought of me. Like I was just so happy, and like I couldn't ask for anything better. And so like it becomes the end of the night, and I guess one thing that I could say highlighted my night was when BTS came out, because I've never in my history of concert going have I ever plugged my own ears because it was too loud. Like y'all, the stadium was about to break in half. Like I swear, like glass was about to shatter because the screaming was so loud. Like even I was closing my ears. Isn't that crazy? And I usually never close my ears no matter how loud it gets, but it was hurting. Like it was actually hurting. I was like, oh my god. But Angie actually had to leave. Like, you know, we had conversated throughout the whole concert, and we actually agreed upon a lot of things. But she was super cool, and she had to leave early because she had to go get her ride. But she was talking to me, and I was just like, thank you so much. Like, you don't understand how much this means to me. And this was when all the artists were waving goodbye, and they're on the other side. And so I was just telling her, like, thank you so much. Like, I hope you have a really good night, you know. Like, thank you. I couldn't thank her enough, you know what I mean? So after she left, I just turned around and I kept waving and stuff. And, you know, eventually the artist went back inside. After that happened, I just kind of, like, sat down. I kind of took everything in. And I tried calling my friend, but she would never answer me. So I kind of just sat there, and I took some Snapchats, and I was like, I need to document this moment because this is just so amazing. And that's the first time I ever, like, selfied by myself in public. It was pretty cool. And I was just like looking around and stuff, and I was just like, this is so great. Like, I'm blessed. Like, today was a freaking good day. And so I'm on the phone again, right? Trying to like contact my friend again. I'm on the phone, like, for example, I'm like this, and I'm like, okay, or that, and I see this girl, like one of the girls who was sitting next to me earlier, one of the staff, and she comes up to me, and she was like waiting there, and I was like, well, she's not gonna answer, so I just hung up the phone, right? And then I was like, I looked at her to see what if she was gonna talk to me, because I thought she left something there, but then she talked to me, and I found out that she spoke English, and she was like, is your name Heidi by any chance? And a lot of people actually call me Heidi because they think, like, by the way my name is spelled, that my name is Heidi, but it's actually Haiti. I was like, yeah, my name is Haiti, yeah, that's me. And then she's like, oh, can you come here for a second? I was like, okay. And so she took me like this way to where all the people who were taking pictures, like photographers or whatever, where they were like taking their pictures at. And I go over there, and there's this like Korean man with like this little staff pass, and I look at him, and it kind of looks kind of familiar, right? Or his voice when he was speaking was familiar, and he only spoke Korean. And I remember she asked me like, do you remember him? And I was like possibly from 2 years ago, from like maybe he came to record me. I was like, possibly I remember from when he came to record me. Maybe was that him? And then she was like, yeah, he came to your house like 2 years ago to record you. And what that was all about is because CJ asked to like interview me and stuff for Kcon 2014, and they followed me around the convention and stuff and the concert, and they interviewed me and stuff, and it was really cool. And I had a different translator than her, but it turns out that the translator who translated for me back in 2014 was actually her brother, which was super, super cool. And she was like telling me that that the guy who recorded me had recognized me, and he thought that I grew up so much since like back then. And he was like, yeah, like, of course he was speaking Korean, but she was translating for me, and he was like, yeah, like, basically he was saying that he had goosebumps because like he kept going like this, he kept motioning like that when he was saying things, because he was like, it's crazy. He's basically saying that it was crazy that I was actually there, and that like we happened to run into each other at the same time. He wanted to ask me during the concert, but then he didn't want to bother me just in case it wasn't me, so he asked her to like ask me. And so he was like talking to me, and he was like, yeah, like, it's so like, it's crazy that like I saw you. And then he's like, you've grown up like very, very much, like. And then they asked if I was still a student and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm like 17, I'm going to my senior year this year. And then she was like, oh wow, yeah. And then he was like, oh, like, she's 17. And I was like, yeah, I'm 17. And then he was like, oh, like, that's like, it's crazy. Like, he's basically very surprised that he even saw me again, and that how much I've changed, because I've changed a lot since 2014. You know, back in 2014 I was a Korea boo, but I've changed so much, and I was surprised he recognized me, you know, since I've changed. And I was like really, really flattered that somebody had remembered me, because this whole weekend I felt very like, you know, I felt very alone and very unknown, which was kind of a sucky feeling, you know. We talked for a while, we basically caught up a little, and then we exchanged information, and yeah, I just like, it was really cool, because I was like surprised that he even remembered me, and I thought it was so cool. And I was like thank you so much for like saying hello, because I would have never remembered him. I just thought it was him because I was like, he kind of looks familiar, just like a little bit. And yeah, and it was him, and I was like, it was, I don't know, it was just such a great weekend, you know. And then after a while, after we finished chatting and stuff, I said bye and stuff, and then he was like, I shook their hands and stuff, and I was like, it's like really nice to see you again, and so we'll be in contact or whatever, you know. Hopefully I can like meet him more, meet his family or something, you know what I mean. And he said he wanted to like, you know, meet up or something before he left back to Korea, because he flew in from Korea again. And so yeah, I guess I was one of the people who like first showed him what an American K-pop fan is like back in 2014, because he came to me. He was very intrigued with like the idea of like people, you know, in America liking K-pop. He thought it was like really, really interesting. And so yeah, like we had a pretty good time. Like, you know, we talked, etc., etc. And I was like, yeah. And I went home, and I had an amazing Kcon experience. I don't know, man. Like, my camera's going out of focus because it's dying, but I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who just gave me such an amazing weekend, and thank you Kcon for putting this on every year, and just thank you to everybody. Like, thank you to everyone who said hello to me, thank you to my friends, thank you to Angie especially. Like, you really are a blessing. Angie from Soompi, I hope I see you sometime soon again, hopefully next year. I really thank you so much. Thank you everybody. Thank you to the person who sold me the ticket on Saturday, and Angie again. I'm sorry, Angie, thank you so much. Like, really, And thank you, just thank you to everyone. Thank you to the person who gave me the Monster X stuff. Like, you the bomb, girl. Thank you, 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 world. Thank you, life.